Okay, so this is how to cut out a mini skirt. We've just got our straight skirt blocks, the hole down, and the trace around them. Don't forget to mark in the notches, and then there should be a little dart point hole. This is your darts at the top. Okay, and then just put a little mark at the top of your straight grain as well. Okay, and we'll just do this for, keep them quite apart, okay, you need space around to add your seam allowances. This is the back, just got one dart at the back, one dart at the front, two darts at the back. I've said that wrong. This is the front I'm doing now. So there's just one dart at the front and two at the back. Don't forget to mark in your dart point. Okay. So the front with one dart and the back with two darts. I'm just going to mark those darts in now with my grader. You might be wondering, why have we got darts in our clothes? And basically it's to give shape, you know, because usually our waists are narrower than our hips, so that shape makes this part of where the waist is, there's your waist, it makes it smaller. And I'll just get my mini skirt. Okay, so I made a little mini skirt to show this pattern off. So there's our darts in the back. Okay, at the back, our bums tend to be curvier than our fronts, so that's why we've got two darts in the back and two darts and one dart in the front. Okay, and if you can see the hips, that's our widest part usually, and then they curve into the waist to give you shape. Okay, and that's what darts do. They follow the curves of your body. Okay. So I'm going to put my straight grain in here. Basically, my straight grain follows is parallel to the to your centre back anyway. So put a straight grain in here as well. It's parallel to the front. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to make this a bit. If you want it to your knee length, leave it the length it is. That's fine. If you want your skirt to be a mini skirt, let's chop it off here, and that's our mini length. Okay, now it's up to you how short you want this. You know, you can cut some more off, but just make it this length, and when you try it on, you might decide you want it a bit shorter, and that's fine. That's up to you, or a bit longer. Or you could make this a midi. If you wanted to make this into a midi, you'd have to extend the length. Like there's other things. This is just little ideas for you. So now what I'm going to do is add seam allowance. Now the front, which has just got the one dart, doesn't have seam allowance. You're going to cut that fabric to the fold. Remember, like you did in your little bags, where we cut the bottom of our bags to the fold, and when we opened it up we just had one piece. Okay, so it's important you remember to cut that to the fold, because we don't want a seam down the front of our skirt. Okay, and then this one, that's okay. So I'm just going to turn this around to add my rotation. So we want the name of it, so it's going to be mini skirt. Whatever size block you use. Okay, so you might use this. I'm going to say size 16. This is mine. Size 16. Cut 2. Oh no, cut 1. Huh? Because it's cut to the fold. Easy to make a mistake. What else do we need to put? Oh, it's the front. And I'm going to put my name on it. Or whatever your logo is, you know, put it on it and that makes it yours. And that just let's mark up this. So it's mini skirt. And it's size 16. And it's cut times 2. And it is the back. I'm going to also mark out these seams. So this is a centre back seam, CB, side seam, SS, side seam. The side seam's curved, and this is the centre back. Oh God. Centre front. Sorry, CF. This is the centre back. Okay. This is the waistline, but you don't need to add that in. Now we're going to just add seam allowances. So I usually like to add about 4 centimetres to the bottom of the seam allowance. So this is how you use your grader. Okay, you see this. We don't need anything here because it's cut to the fold, but I'm going to put 2 centimetres on the bottom. Okay, you're probably best putting 4 centimetres on yours. So if you get your 4 centimetre line and put it onto your hem line and just draw across. And because I'm using a half size pattern, it's going to look weird if I do that. So I'm just going to put 2 on. Okay, otherwise it's not going to look in proportion. So this is our seam allowance. When I've done my seam allowance, I'm just going to put some little cross hatching so you know what it is. So if you want to do that, do that. Just got to point out at this stage, I'm using a pen just so you can see what I'm doing, but if you can use a pencil, that'd be far better, because if you make a mistake, you can rub a pencil out. Can't rub pens out. Okay, so I'm going to put my seam allowance now on my side seam. So I'm going to put a centimetre on this. You can put a centimetre and a half on if you want. So there's a centimetre and a half. Haven't got much space here, but so there's your centimetre and a half there. If you run it right along where it's curved, just sort of what you're going to do is just bring it around like this. Okay, around that curve. Okay, so you'll follow the curve, and when we get to the straight bit, you can just put that on there. Go down. Okay, so for the curve, get your centimetre and a half. Just bring it around, and when you see that curve line moving, just swivel your grader. Okay, and just take your time. Okay, to get your seam allowance. Okay, so this is 1.5 on there, and that gives you plenty of room to do a nice big seam allowance. You might want to do a centimetre. If you want to do a centimetre seam allowance, do the same. Okay, you might find it easier working with a centimetre because you can actually see the bottom of the numbers. If you'd prefer to do that, that's fine. So just swivel it as you go around that corner. Make sure the bottom of that line is on your actual your line there. Okay. And then we'll put a centimetre on the top as well. That's pretty straight. And nothing down there. So let's just cross hatch our seam allowances. Okay. How to put your seam allowance on. Okay, so we'll start, we've made this into a mini, okay? So I'm going to start by putting a 4 centimetre hem on the bottom. Okay, so you get your 4, which is there. Sit very better here. Get your 4 and put it on this line. So this 4 line goes right along your grader. Put it on your 4 and put your seam allowance on. Okay, I'm just going to use a 2 because this is a half size pattern I'm using, so it'd look weird if I used a 4. Okay, so there's your hem, 4 centimetres seam allowance. Okay, and that's only on your hem. Now when you're on your side seams, if you put a 1 centimetre seam allowance on, so if we line it up again, here's where the 1 is. The 1's quite easy to mark because it's just to the bottom of these numbers, so it's quite easy to see the line. So I'm going to put that line up, then we start going in a bit, don't we? So the thing we have to do then is start swiveling. So you just swivel like that. And put a couple of little dots very close together. And it just gets that curve. Okay, so this looks massive. This looks out of proportion on this. If you want to just, looks out of proportion on this block because this block's a half size block, but it will look like that on yours. Okay, that's a centimetre seam allowance. Okay, now the centre back seam allowance is really easy to do, isn't it? I'd put a 1.5 centimetres because we've got to put a zip in the back. So we've got 1.5 SA on that. Okay, so we've got 1 centimetre here, 1.5 there on your back seam, centre back, 4 centimetres at the hem, and let's just put a centimetre at the top as well. And we need to swivel this a little bit because we've got a bit of a curve going on at the top. Okay, it's not straight. You know, when you have curves, lines are very seldom straight. Okay, I'll mark that in. So I'm going to cut them out now. Okay, so I've got my 2 pattern pieces. This is my front. It's got a 4 centimetre seam allowance at the hem. It's got a centimetre at the side seam, a centimetre at the top, and nothing on the centre front, which is cut to fold. If you want to write in centre front for now, it'll make more sense to you maybe. Usually on a commercial pattern you'll always see CF, so it's good to know the abbreviations. And here's centre back and side seam. Okay, you've got your darts, 2 darts at the back. Now we said at the very centre back seam we put a 1.5 seam allowance. Okay, and that's because we've got to put a zip in that if you're making a mini skirt. Okay, and that's it. Now I'm going to show you how to make a facing. Some of you might just find this quite hard to do. So if you've struggled, you know, if you've found this is enough and this has taken, you know, this has been enough learning for you for now, I'll give you a facing pattern, don't worry. But some of you might want to learn how to do it, so I'm going to do that next.